Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good Shabbos, and welcome to the special madness that is the Charlie Marx Christmas Show. I'm Charlie Marx and you're not, unless of course you are. If you're enjoying the Charlie Marx Show, then please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications and follow the Charlie Marx Show. Also please share, as sharing is Christmas daring. You can also leave me a comment, or why not join the show by sharing a problem with Viewers Letter, or tell me what's bugging you in the world with the Devil's Advocate. I can also be spied upon by you visiting www.charliemarx.co.uk. So, Christmas time is here. There's going to be too much spending, too much eating, and too much time with people you don't want to spend time with, your family. Of course, there's also the presents, but let's be honest, once they've been opened, you just want to get back into the car and complain about how cheap the people you know are. Coming up on tonight's Christmas show, we have Christmas Viewers Letter, plus all the fake news from around the world and beyond from the CM newsroom, plus our special guest, plus a special Christmas story time with Sir Percival Homosexual reading the very Christmassy A Christmassy Story. And of course, moans and groans and things that go irk in the night with the Devil's Advocate. And now, before all the insanity which is the Charlie Marx Christmas Show, a quick word from our sponsor.
Good evening. This is an appeal for appeals. Did you know that every Christmas thousands of appeals get broadcast on TV and radio and are frequently ignored? We at Appeals for Appeals want to let you know that by not choosing to choose an appeal, that you're a tight-fisted, non-caring piece of dirt who doesn't deserve to sit down to Christmas turkey. How many more appeals have to go ignored before people get the message that by ignoring appeals, it will only make them come back in droves next Christmas? Without your help, I will be out of a job and have to make an appeal for jobs. Without your support, actors who can't get parts in anything decent will never get a chance to be on TV promoting an appeal. Let's not lose the guilt that puts a dampener on your Christmas dinner when an appeal comes on TV. Just give $99.99 a month to Appeals for Appeals and let us keep making you feel like a guilty scumbag. And for the first 4 donations, you will get this fabulous Boris Johnson at the Wurlitzer absolutely free. Give now.
Thank you to our sponsor. Later in the show we have our special guest, but first let's see if we can help one of our viewers with a problem only the Charlie Marx Show can solve in Viewers Letter. Today's Viewers Letter comes from Eric the Elf. It reads, "Dear Charlie, I've been watching your show since the beginning and I'm a huge fan. I wasn't going to write to you, but things here at the North Pole have just gone totally mental. Santa is completely stressed out even though he only works one night a year. He started shouting at us elves and even shouted at his wife because she said she was sick of him staying out all night. I'm telling you, it's a total nightmare and we elves are thinking of going on strike. What should we do? Love the show, Eric the Elf." Well, Eric, Christmas is a very stressful time of the year. But Santa has to know that as much as it is stressful for him, you elf guys on the floor have been working really hard to make the presents. I suggest that you do indeed go on strike to teach him a lesson. But you must make it look as though you're not going to jeopardise Christmas. So, make my gift and put it in Santa's sack and make sure that gift gets to me, then go on strike. I hope this helps, and I, for one, appreciate all the things you do at Christmas. I hope that helps. Join me next time for another Viewer's Letter. Now, just look at what makes your Christmas special. That's right, folks. It's the Charlie Marx Show. Now, go and watch the Charlie... I say, go and watch the Charlie Marx Show. Go on now. Welcome back, excited kiddies. You're watching the Charlie Marx Show. And coming up, our special guest, Storytime and the Devil's Advocate. But before all that, it's time to get a roundup of the latest fake news from around the world and beyond with CM News. Good evening and welcome to CM News with me, Mona Lisa. Our top story. And the High Court was packed out today as former Labour backbencher Judas Iscariot appeared before Judge Pontius Pilate in possibly one of the biggest defamatory cases ever heard in the UK. The case is the first of its kind on these shores and is brought by Mr. Iscariot against the Sun. Jesus' defence brought him to the stand, but upset soon followed when Jesus fainted when he was asked to take the stand as he was going to be cross-examined. 3 wise men were arrested yesterday for drug running. They were taken to Leeds police station where they were searched. One had a pirate copy of Frankenstein, one had a lump of gold, and forensics are still trying to figure out what myrrh is, which was found under the third wise man's dress. A landlord in Nazareth has been jailed for 6 months for subletting his stable to immigrants. He was also charged 3 shekels for allowing pets into the building. Some breaking news just in, and staying in Nazareth, rumours that the Messiah has just come into the world. We now go live to Stable Street, Nazareth, to join our spiritual correspondent, Dolly Parton. Thank you, Mona. Yes, we are here in a rather run-down bed and breakfast in Nazareth, where the Messiah is just been born. We haven't been able to speak to the parents as there was an argument between the mother, Mary, and the father, Joseph, as to whose name will be going on the birth certificate. The baby seems to be doing quite well and is in a stable condition. It's only asked for 1 can of Red Bull and a turkey sandwich. As you can see, there are 3 other men hanging about, and to be perfectly honest with you, I feel that is quite inappropriate for one of them to have brought a cross with them. On seeing the cross, it was the only time the child looked nervous. Just seconds ago, the parents were trying to think of a name for the baby when I accidentally stood in some donkey poo and yelled out an expletive. The couple have decided to call the baby Messiah Bloody Hell. This is Dolly Parton at the stable in Nazareth for CM News. Back to you, Mona, in the studio. Thank you, Dolly, and we'll keep you posted on any further developments or miracles. And finally, We seem to have run out of time, so CM News will leave that story for another day about the meteor heading towards Earth. But until next time, this is Mona Lisa for CM News. Good night. Thank you, Mona. More from the CM Newsroom next time. But now, my special guest. My guest this evening is a builder for the construction company Heavenly Builds. Please welcome from his work site via satellite, Brian Patterson. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Yeah, just stick that load over there, John. Yeah, thanks, Charlie.
You appear to be very busy at this moment, Brian. What is it that you're working on?
Now over there, before outside the scaffolding, man. Sorry, Charlie. We've got this big job, and it's got to be finished by Christmas.
Am I right in saying that it's a set of stairs?
I wish it was just a set of stairs, mate. Nah, this is sorry, just give me a second. Here, John, stick that wood over there. Yeah, over beside the tripod thing. Yeah. Sorry again, Charlie. What was I saying?
You were telling me what kind of staircase you're working on?
So I was. Yeah, it's a single rise staircase with, as you can see, a handrail, and we've been told that most of the people using it will be old. I tried to suggest to the contractor that they'd be better off with a spare lift, but apparently they've never envisaged a stair lift to heaven. So
who ordered the build?
Well, I haven't met the bloke yet, but the invoice was sent to somebody called Godfrey, or something like that.
And I'm led to believe that this is the largest staircase build your company have ever taken on.
Yeah, that's right. It has some strange dimensions. It's about 10 feet wide. John, leave that over there, mate. Sorry, mate. Up to my eyes, isn't it?
That's okay. And do you think it'll be completed for Christmas?
Yeah, well, we've had to subcontract some of the work out. Like, for example, the treads are being laid by one contractor and the balustrade has been done by another. The final paint job is being done by a guy called Lenny from a company called Fresh Coat. So we're building the frame and the little counter at the top for some guy's his laptop.
Have you come up against any problems yet?
Problems? The whole thing is 5,000 miles high. Of course there's bloody problems. For a start, we've had to order about 1 billion screws, and this caused the whole project to be delayed for a week.
And I imagine you're going to need a lot of wood for this staircase. That must have been quite a lot of trees.
No, we got the wood from B&Q. Hang on, Charlie. John, just leave the Stratmans for a minute. Sorry, Charlie. Working with these people. Yeah, to be honest with you, I think the guy who ordered it doesn't have a lot of experience with style. See, he's getting all this work done on the stairway, and then he's going to get a big pearly gate. I don't know.
That's quite all right. I know you're busy. Now, it's quite an unusual design, am I right?
Well, why put all this work into something very masculine? A masculine staircase, then get a gay gate. I think it's got something to do with rich people. They have no taste. Tacky, very tacky. But it's their choice at the end of the day.
And you don't think that's going to look good?
John, never mind about the carpet. Oh, right. Thanks, Charlie. Right, come on, just move it. Get this bloody thing up there.
Well, I know you're up to your eyes in it, so I'll let you get on, and I hope you manage to get it done by Christmas. Thanks, Brian. Join me next time when our guest of the show will be someone who has time to talk to us. But now it's time to slip into your pyjamas, get your cosy blanket, throw another weasel in the fire, and curl up on the sofa with a nice glass of wine as Sir Percival Homosexual reads this week's festive tale, a festive tale in Story Time.
Hello, children, and those who are spending time in prison, and welcome to Story Time. Are you sitting comfortably with your Christmas pudding and your bottle of Buckfast? Then we'll begin. It was the night before Christmas, and little children all over the world were waiting for Santa to come and deliver their presents. Sadly, this was not going to happen because Santa had gone through a speed camera, and he was being cautioned by the police. The police decided to breathalyze Santa because they could smell a lot of milk on his breath. Now, milk is usually all right, but because Santa was magical, when he drank milk, it was like drinking vodka. Santa was hammered. He failed the breathalyzer and was taken to a local prison cell. Santa tried to explain to police that he had the duty of delivering presents, but they would not listen to him. After spending a couple of hours in the cell, Santa asked the policeman if he could phone his lawyer. The policeman agreed, but Santa then explained that he didn't have a lawyer. The policeman slapped Santa for wasting his time and told him that a lawyer would be provided for him the following morning. Well, boys and girls, you can imagine how worried Santa was about not getting the presents to the children, and also having a criminal record, as he could lose his job. The following morning, Santa was taken to an interview room, where he met his lawyer, Mr. Smith, from the Legal Eagles, Shafter, and Smith. Santa asked why he had a Smith representing him and not a Shafter, and it was explained to him that if he was convicted, he would definitely get a Shafter. Santa told Mr. Smith that he was already so late in delivering the presents to the children for Christmas, but he suddenly stopped speaking as two detectives, Marcia Marple and Pedro Poirot, entered the interview room. The tape recorder was put on, and although Santa's lawyer had told him to say no comment to any question, the detectives asked Santa and asked him if he felt it was important to say something in order to get out of the police station and back to delivering presents to the children. So far he'd only delivered one present, a shotgun to little Tommy Totter. And although the little boy would wake up happy, there were many children who would wake up sad. The police stated that Santa had been charged with operating a sleigh whilst under the influence, and they asked him why he was driving out on Christmas Eve, when he knew fine well that the police were out on such nights to trap drunk drivers. Santa was beginning to get agitated, and when asked why he was out that night, he tried to explain that he worked on only Christmas Eve and he delivered gifts to children that his elves had made in his workshop. On being asked how he got the presents to the children, Santa explained that he would climb down chimneys. 2 days later, Santa appeared before Judge Donald Trump and was charged with driving under the influence and breaking and entering. The jury, made up mostly of irritated shopkeepers, returned a sentence of execution, which was rare in a UK court, but the sentence was carried out the following day. That Christmas no children got their presents, and from that point on parents would be left to fill the present gap at Christmas. But many years later, a sleigh was spotted in the sky by a UFO enthusiast, but was shot down by the enthusiast. And the irony was that UFO hunter was little Tommy Totter.
And Sir Percival will be back next time with another story in Storytime. But now it's time for another roundup of moans and groans in The Devil's Advocate. It's Christmas, so should I really be bugged by anything in this festive happy time of the year? Well, yes there is. Should there be a television licence? Well, to answer this quickly and without much discussion, no. But should there be a television licence at Christmas? This is a question that has bamboozled philosophers since the beginning of time. I can only speak for viewers in the UK, as that's where I live. But to delve into this posing conundrum further, I will have to take you back to a time before mobile phones, a time before computers, and a time before everything went to hell. My childhood. When I was much younger, we had 3 channels: BBC One, BBC Two and ITV. The TV at Christmas was just as much a part of an event as the sitting down to turkey and sprouts. Yes, believe it or not, we, as a nation, used to tune into a programme and watch it from start to finish, because there wasn't much other choice. Of course, now there are about 1 billion channels, give or take a few, and should you get bored 5 minutes into something, you can choose something else and get bored with that. Also, thanks to Netflix and other streaming services, every movie that comes on the TV has either been seen or half seen. We used to gather round the TV as a family to watch Ben-Hur or The Great Escape. Then the Queen's Speech, where my mother would annually say, "I'll bet she doesn't do the washing up." You see, things were simpler back then because our expectations were lower. Should a movie like Star Wars or Superman be shown on TV, we would be more excited than if we were asked to be in the next Star Wars or Superman movie. Believe it or not, people used to buy the Christmas special TV guide and circle all the things they were going to watch over the festive period. And they did. They watched every one of them. There were gala performances, circuses, classic movies, a run of TV series like Rocket Man, the black and white adventure, not the Elton John song, and there were things we only saw if we owned a video player, which we didn't until much later on. Should you be privileged enough to own a video recorder, it would be on continually, and all the labels were written out at least a month before the programme or movie aired. Nowadays, nobody really cares what's on because TV isn't as sacred as it once was. So, does this make paying for a TV licence defunct? Should we be paying for a BBC TV licence when we steer clear of the BBC for whatever reasons? Perhaps we should just turn off the TV and spend time with our family playing board games. At least then, the only repeats will be the Brussels sprouts. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching the Charlie Marx Show, special Christmas show. Please like, subscribe, comment, share and follow, and check out my website on www.charliemarx.com. And seeing as I like coffee, how about treating me to one? I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, and I shall see you in the new year. And remember, if you're not watching the Charlie Marx Show, Santa won't come.